All right. So last time we talked about finding your niche. Now we're going to put our money where our mouth is. And we're going to talk about what is the moment after you choose your niche. And so maybe you're thinking, okay, I've decided, got my niche. I did my 7-day niche prescription. I've honed down what niche I want to do. Now, the next question is, will anyone actually want to pay for this? So today, Ann and I, we're going to show you how to validate your offer without a website, a logo, or a 12-week program.
Now that's awesome because you can validate it without a website or logo because we know how doctors can really get into the tech side of things. Forget that. Put that word tech and how to do it out of your head right now and pay attention to what we're about to say so that way you can execute this at this point.
Yeah, because I've been doing entrepreneurship for 20 plus years. Ann has been doing it for a long time as well. And there are programs out there that help you build courses out there. And I've seen time and time again where a doctor or just an individual got an idea for niche and then spends hours upon hours creating a 18-hour course on here, recording all of the video, getting all the recordings, uploading, transcribing all there. And then when they actually come and sell it, they get crickets and nothing. And they spend all this time and doing it. And I don't want that to happen to you. All you really want to know is if you have a niche out there, are people willing to pay for the problems that are associated with this niche? So I don't want you to overthink it. This is what we're going to be covering today. We're going to talk about putting it out there, testing it, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and then honing and growing it. And so you can finally isolate and hone down that niche that is going to be working for you. Let's talk about your audience. Let's talk about your avatar. And
Right. So this episode is for the physician who picked a niche, has the expertise, but you're hesitating because you're thinking, would they take this offer? Is it perfect before it is visible? So we want this to feel awkward. And that's not a red flag. It's a sign that you actually are executing and that you left the whiteboard. And I was the one that made the mistake what Mike had mentioned earlier. This is in 2021. I created a 30-day implementation course without even creating the offer. And when I did launch it to my list, there were crickets. And I had a large list. And it's because I didn't cater the course to what my avatar wanted. I created the course for what I believe they need to know for sexual restoration. So 30 days of work and a lot of hours of sweat and so forth, I had to again redo it. And guess what I found? I found that if I made it brief into 5 day, it started selling. So we want to make sure that we want to clear that mental clutter and that if you're in marketing, there's a saying that if your offer sells, that is the validation that you need. Like that was an example that I gave you was that my 30 days didn't sell, but when I chop it down and make it brief and simple, then it started selling because simplicity sells. Simplicity means it's easy for people to understand. So when they understand your message, they then can buy.
yeah, and it comes down to understanding your niche and understanding the audience of that niche on there. One of the most important things that you can do when you're deciding to create a program is to survey your audience. You just ask there, hey, I'm thinking about putting together a program on X, Y, and Z. Would that be something that you're interested in? Or I'm going to be doing an event in a couple weeks, and we're looking to find like-minded individuals who have maybe the same problems in this niche. And would you like to be interested on there? And that sounds good. And you say, hey, that sounds great. And I think that's the first step. But just because you're interested doesn't mean they're actually going to pay for it. And so that's why you need to like test it out. It's more than just like thumbs ups and likes. As I mentioned in the last episode, I can't put that in the bank. You need to decide if they want to pay for it. Even if something $5, $10, if you're setting up a coaching program, are they willing to pay for a 15-30 minute consultation on here? Interest is best, they're just trying to be polite. But when you have payment, that's actual honesty. It's actually saying, hey, I'm in the right direction. One of the best ways that you can, when I first got started online, was getting my first dollar online, right? I don't know what a dollar can buy for these days, but it was something that someone actually put out their credit card or paid me $1 on PayPal, that they're saying, hey, I wanted more information on there. And that's something. And that means the world to it. So no matter how much you price it, if they pay for something, that means you're at the right direction on here. Here's a problem, like offering something for free is like most people when they think of free advice, what is that worth? Free advice is they're not going to take action on it in there. And you like to say when they pay attention.
Yep, absolutely. It's almost equating to like if you pay for something expensive, you will value it more, right? If you have a suit or a dress that you pay thousands of dollars for versus $100 for, you will probably wear that dress or suit at more important event and you will get it dry clean, you will take care of it more versus a dress or suit that you bought on clearance for a couple hundred dollars or so. So definitely is true. When you pay attention. And I can tell you this, when we had a lot of no shows for our sales call because we were making it free, but when we charged it's a simple $7 just for a call with our team, we had 100% people that showed up because when they put money behind what they want, they have more skin in the game. So remember that people don't buy program, they buy certainty and they buy clarity and they buy speed. All right, let me say that again. They want their problem to be solved, but they don't know how to do it. And as a physician, you are the curator information, and there's lots of information out there because now with the advent of AI, people can get information now, and AI can even deliver health information, help diagnose. But there is a lot of misinformation as well too. So as a physician, you can cut through all that noise, you curate the information to what they only need to know, and that you will distill it in a way that is easy to understand, which means clarity. And number two, faster understanding what they need to do to implement, and certainty or confidence that they can get over the problem. My coach over the last 5 years has said that if you put these three components in any offer that you offer out there, an offer is almost like a package or a treatment. Either it could be an in-office treatment or online offer. If you have these three components, which is certainty, speed, and clarity, then you can sell any offer. It will become an irresistible offer. And that's what I base my whole entire business on. And in fact, my business in the office, I have only one offer and that I keep rinse and repeat. We systemize it, and it's easy for us to deliver now. And it's literally one offer about sexual restoration. And so the key is sell the outcome and not the deliverables. The deliverables are the feature. So let's say let's you have a 12-week program for weight loss. You don't want to go over 12-week reset, week one, 2 time Zoom meeting. You'll have access to 5 days of course and weekly meetings. And here's the workbook. That's the 30-page workbook. People hear that and they go, oh my God, that's a lot of stuff. What you want to say is lose weight without another failed diet. So that is an outcome that people want to hear. That's why my program restores sexual confidence without medication or surgery. I oftentimes hear doctors talk about the deliverables of the feature, which they know about, but oftentimes they lose sight of what is the ultimate outcome that these people are seeking, that your offer can sell. So, Mike, you want to talk about the next one?
Yeah. So far, just to kind of reiterate here, is people aren't don't buy programs, so they buy relief, speed, and certainty, as Ann had mentioned. So start with a pain, not necessarily a product. As Ann mentioned, the next one is they sell the outcome, not the deliverable. People don't care about a 12-week program. And when I have clients, they come up to me, should it be 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks? It doesn't matter. It's immaterial on here. What they want is the outcome on here. You could say, hey, it's going to be HD quality. It's going to have weekly check ins. You're going to have all this kind of stuff. They just want to know that you can help them solve the problem than more so than they can do themselves. And then finally, step number three is price for feedback, not necessarily to scale. Now, I know oftentimes when we talk about money, doctors kind of feel a little bit awkward. They don't want to charge a lot. They want to seem quite greedy on there. I've talked about this is that's normal, but it's not going to let you to scale and grow your business. But if you're still uncertain, you can price it a little bit lower. So maybe you're testing something. I often do like a beta program or where they're paying something on it, at least your time on there. And then if it's growing, then you can increase the pricing on here. You're not optimizing necessarily for profit. You're just optimizing for information, optimizing knowledge that this is actually going to work out. So let's talk about like a real example on here. So you got your niche on here. So your offer could be I help busy professionals lose 15 to 20 pounds and get their energy back without daily workouts. So that can be your offer. And maybe it starts with a consultation. Maybe you work for them. I like doing it small. I don't want to commit to something like big, like 8 to 12 weeks. Maybe you spend 1 hour consultation with them, where at the end of the hour you put together a framework. You give them a step by step what they can do next. You analyze it and then you kind of move forward on here. And now you're saying, hey, would you be interested on it? And you give them say yes, and then you say okay, great, and you charge X amount of dollars on here. You're just getting validated. You're getting about information on here to see if they're interested in it, and you don't need to get 50 or 100. You just need proof that people are actually out there and doing it. It sounds simple because it actually is. We're not creating a course, we're not creating a website, we're not creating a 12-week program. We're just saying, hey, you've got a problem out there, and let's say you podcast about it, you talked about this problem. If you're out there, you all you wanted them is to raise your hand and say, yes, I'm interested. But then here's the thing: you don't charge for free. You don't make it free. You have them pay something. You want to pay for your time because that is the validation. You got to have them pay something to see if this is the cornerstone for a business.
And it doesn't have to be payment. It could be when somebody book a call with you as well. And then also when they refer another person. What you don't want is people reaching out DMs on Instagram or Facebook for free advice. You don't want that. And when they praise you without following through, they're like, great, I love the information, but they don't do anything about it. And they keep saying, well, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it mean that it's not my priority at this time. So that is something to remember, is that one paid yes beat 50 enthusiastic maybe. So don't go for those ego metrics and those long DMs. And I do actually discourage you from offering advice on the DM as well. And just say, hey, if you're interested, here's the link to sign up to my program, and just leave it at that. So common validation mistakes. So this is to really prevent wasted effort. And don't overbill. Don't overbill a website, a funnel, and branding. Just launch your offer out there on social media, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X. Just launch it out there and just say, hey, if you're interested, email me or reach out on DM. But then when they reach out on DM, you just send them straight to the offer. And the offer could be just a PayPal link. It could be just a calendar link, and it could be just maybe a landing page with the video you're talking about the program. But honestly, with the software that we have nowadays and Doctorboss software, you can literally build a funnel in about 5 minutes at this time. So don't overthink it, and you don't need to build a brand with beautiful logos and all that. And mistake number two is don't underprice out of fear, because when you underprice, low prices really attract unclear signals. Like underprice is charging a program that's like worth $500, you're charging like $27 for, because you think nobody will pay. Oftentimes, doctors really underprice themselves. And so, whatever price you're thinking of, double that, because you don't know what people value is, and you don't know how much they're going to pay. Like my program is 15,000. Oftentimes a patient comes in, they said, I'll be willing to pay $1 million for this. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm way underpricing. But it's just people value treatment or offers differently. And mistake number 3 is asking the wrong people. So your colleague are not the people that are in your market sometimes. So always be clear on who you're serving. It should be one person that you're serving, and you need to know that person demographic, they want, what are they waking up at night for. So just know that a colleague may not be your avatar at this time. And so you want to talk about the next one, of the 14-day offer?
All right, so we went over the offer. We talked about the importance of validation. We talked about the key signals you need to use to validate your offer. But now, as our next goal is, I want you to take action. So let's, over the next 14 days, I want to give you a simple framework you can do to create that irresistible offer out there that's going to be the foundation for growing and scaling for yourself. Over the next 14 days, let's say day 1 through 3, I want you to write a simple offer. Who is your audience? What is the problem that you want to solve? What is the outcome that you want to deliver? Work on that, hone that on there. Now, once you got that offer, over the day 4 through 7, start sharing it with people out there. Your email list. Maybe you put it on LinkedIn, on your Facebook followers on there. Maybe this is for your clinic, your existing patients. Maybe select personal contact. See what they say on there. You put it out there and then follow up. Track. Once you find the offer, they're gonna have questions. Answer your questions diligently. Create your own like frequently asked questions so you can answer them, or your assistant can answer them. See what objections they have. Do they object on the price? Do you object on the format on it? Is it on Zoom? Maybe it could be on a phone call. Maybe it has to do with payments. Are you offering Venmo or Zelle or PayPal or credit card? What is it on there? You want to get information. This is when you're getting information, and then hopefully you're going to be selling this offer on there. Again, you don't need to get volume. You just need a signal on here. That is your 14-week protocol. Now that when you've got all that, you want to interpret the results that you're getting on here. If it's converting, awesome, double down. Now you're going to grow it and scale it. You're going to reach more people outside that. If it doesn't, that's okay too. You're going to pivot. Maybe it's just the messaging. Maybe you're getting a lot of interest, but they're not purchasing it. Look at the exact offer. What is it? Maybe you're not reaching. Maybe angle that you're deciding the offer is not resonating with. Change it a bit. Ask your friends, ask other marketers. If you have a mentor like ourselves, reach out to us. We have a school group where you can ask us these questions. We're here to help you in there. It's all about validating. It's all about pivoting. It's all about doing it. Nobody is going to get it 100%. They're not going to get a home run on the first thing, but it's about putting it out there, putting it out into the world, getting some feedback, getting some information, pivoting, and moving to something else.
So, key takeaway is this: entrepreneurs look for applause, business owner look for the payment. And that's just what I base upon in my YouTube channel, is that I rarely pay attention to views and click. What I pay attention to is buyers. How many buyers do we have this week at this point? So if you want help in testing the offers and getting real feedback, that's exactly what we do. What Doctorboss is built for is to have conversation like this and talking with people that are in the group that are also physicians, as well as us who are bridge between physician and marketing as well. And then Mike with AI and marketing and being a physician. So having said that, we invite you to join Doctors Online Success, a free school group community in the link below, or you can just go to doctors with an S, proonlinesuccess.com to join a group at this time. And once you join, you also have access to some free courses in there as well too. So just know, guys, that you are not just a doctor, you are a Doctor Boss.
All right, we'll see you in the next episode.